Well, I want to welcome all of my friends on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube that are watching this live broadcast. And of course, for those of you that are in boot camp, please type your questions into the chat window. Let me just take a look and see who's here. Sandy, it's nice to see you. At least now that you're in Florida, it's a little, you can sleep a little later. All right, let me look at some of the questions. Okay. Well, Sandy's got a couple of questions that are really good. We'll see if we can squeeze some of them in, James, today, or we'll do them in the mastermind. Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Let me, before we start this, I sent out a promotion on Friday. I'm not sure all of you saw it. Let me just, and what I've decided to do is open up the recordings of the retreat that we had last month and make it available to anybody that really wants to know what the top earners in your business know, but they never talk about. I know a lot of you have participated in it, but in our last session, we got some feedback from some of the people that were participating, and I just want to share them with you. And we have a special price for anybody that's participating in my boot camp. You can get all the recordings and all of the documents for $199. We even added a 2-payment option. So John is relatively new to network marketing, and this is what he had to say.
What do I have to say? I must say that I'm absolutely astounded by your teaching. And I was just sitting here reflecting, thinking back, if I'd have seen this, if I'd have understood this, when I first got into network marketing back in the days when I first started circles with them, I'd have been a very rich man today. Your training is incredible, excellent. I've got so much to learn and so much to do. I thank you so much. There's a lot of my heart.
Well, John, you're welcome.
What?
And we heard from Robin. Robin.
Good afternoon, Max.
So how do you feel?
Well, I'm super excited, super excited just being in your coaching program and then, having the boot camp, participating in the Top Earners Retreat. This entire weekend is just like icing on the cake. The cherry on the top will be me getting to see Director Vitamin Nunez. I know that I can do it. I'm super excited. This is exciting.
Well, Robin. And then we heard from Bunmi.
Hi, Max. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome. I saw you jumped into the training, I think, after we started.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I'm so glad that I did because I have been looking for a while on creating duplicatable systems. And so the training was absolutely fantastic. And the part that I got, so I wasn't here for the entire time, but that was really great. So I do appreciate you for that. And I do plan to implement that immediately.
Well, good. We're glad you're here. Like everybody else, what you're learning will put you on the road to success faster. Better late than never. So. All right, what I'm gonna do is let me change screens. And let me bring up Sandy. Now I'm logged into one of my coaching students' account. So Sandy, I'm looking at you through someone else's eyes. Let me unmute Sandy for a minute. Oops.
Okay, Max.
Good morning.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine.
I just want to tell anyone and everyone who's listening to this live or the replay, you've made the best business decision if you want success in the profession of network marketing. There is no one better than Max Steingart to teach you what you need to do to make connections. And I just want to thank you, Max, because things change. I mean, I took a boot camp just a few months ago, and I can't believe how much has changed.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
No, that's not my personal page. That's one of my fan pages, by the way. So I'm having a real challenge suddenly with Facebook asking me to switch accounts that keeps taking me to my main Facebook page when I'm doing invite friends. I don't know if anybody else is having the same problem, but and I keep adding people either individually through the invite friends link or through the 1,000 people to add, and the number never increases, never.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
one of my fan pages, not my main page.
this is your fan page.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm looking at your LinkedIn page.
Oh, okay. LinkedIn. Okay.
We can jump in there and take a look. The thing is that, like you observed, all the social networks change all the time, and they change for a number of reasons. The biggest one, obviously, is as technology changes and the bandwidth increases, the people on these social networks want to do other things. And the social network, to keep everybody interested in staying on Facebook, everybody interested in staying on LinkedIn, if they don't provide you with the things, the new stuff to do, then you'll go someplace else. And that's one of the reasons why Facebook bought Instagram a few years back. One of the interesting things about Facebook and LinkedIn too is years ago, Twitter, when Twitter first came out, this what's on your mind part of Facebook is your Twitter feature. You could send a 160 character message and you could send it out, to people. Facebook added this when they saw how popular Twitter was becoming, and LinkedIn came along and did the same thing. So LinkedIn's going to give you an opportunity to post something, and it could be a message that would be seen by all of the people that you're connected to, or you could designate it to a certain group of people. What's happened in the last, I would say in the last 4 or 5 months, is that LinkedIn is not only no longer a secret, But the marketers are jumping on here at the rate of about 10 million a month. And as a result, what's starting to happen is, I mean, they're just coming in here and they're blasting out promotional pieces to the point where LinkedIn has affected a LinkedIn jail. LinkedIn has affected all kinds of protective measures to protect their paying user base, because you're not going to continue to pay what could amount to $80 a month or $100 a month for their advanced features if every day you're going on here and you're getting killed, you're getting slammed with all of this stuff. And now we're even starting to see the people that have sexual agendas popping on here, approaching men and approaching women. So the reason that over the years, there's nobody out there that's in tune to what's going on better than me, because I'm working with all you folks. I'm logging into different accounts. For example, Paula is out in San Francisco and I'm in her account right now. And so I see things. If we go over and look at her network, I see things that are happening in her account, which are different. This is the view that most of you would be looking at right now. But if I jumped into Bill's account, Bill's got a new feature. They're moving all of the invitations over to notifications. They're always making changes. And every time I see a new change, because I'm in this all the time, it triggers ideas in my head as to what we can do to take advantage of these new changes to help all of you, frankly, beat your competition to the very people that you want to talk to, because you're not going to be the only person on LinkedIn in your company that's reaching out to people. And today, LinkedIn is, without question, the premier social network to build your business on. And I believe, I have to tell you, let's just go over here while I'm in her account. I'm going to do a search. Well, let me go over to her network because I want to show you something. I've been telling everybody that got into boot camp that LinkedIn is up to 880 million users. And I actually believe they're up to 890 million users. So we come over here, we look at her connections. She got 757. So if I go to filter it out, and let me just get rid of the one. 862 million people. Now, typically, LinkedIn is running 20 million people more than what they're showing there. So that would get it up to 880 million. And the way it's turning up, they will be at 900 million before the end of the year. The one thing that you have to keep in mind is that there's a lot of dead weight in here. A lot of profiles that were created years ago, people haven't used them. But now as you scroll down and you look at the folks, the typical way that you wanted to connect with somebody was hit the connect button. But now you're starting to see more people are replacing the connect button with message or follow. LinkedIn is telling everybody, get rid of that connect button so you're not going to get slammed with messages. But I want to show you something else. If I brought up his profile and actually took a look at it, now what I want you to notice down here is there's a plus sign next to follow. There's a message icon here. What LinkedIn is doing is they're changing these images up, they're changing these tags up because people are using robots to jump in here. And you create an account, you jump into, you create a bogus account, you go into LinkedIn and you turn this robot loose, and it could be sending out 200 or 300 connection requests every day. And that's why if some of you are sending out an excessive amount of connection requests and they think you're a robot, they have to be unique, they have to be different, which is why we gave you a script. You put their name in. Just by putting your name in the message makes it unique from all the other messages that you're sending. And then we change some of the language as well. But if you wake up one day and you try to get into your LinkedIn account and you discuss, and they tell you, hey, you've been doing too many searches and you've been sending out an excessive number of messages, so we've locked you out of your account. And the only way you can get back in is to send them a picture of a driver's license or a passport to show that you're a real person. That's one of the things that's going on in the background. So you all need to be aware of that. It's constantly changing. And this isn't something new for social networks. This is a situation that's been going on for years. MySpace had the problem, Facebook had the problem, and now it's LinkedIn's turn. So you're going to see a lot of changes, but the basic overall process has not changed. You create that profile, and you're creating a profile for the very people that you want to connect with. You know ahead of time, I'm going to log out of my account. I'm going to log out of her account. Come back in it in a bit. Come back into mine. So all you need is a profile. And you can put yourself out there for connect with people based on their profession, based on what they do. You know in advance who these people are. And all you have to do is reach out to 10 people a day, 15 people a day. And you're there. And Mohammed wants to know, well, how do you know when you're about to ask a manipulative question? A manipulative question is when you ask someone a question that is basically changing the subject. It's not a continuation of okay. I'm just kind of looking at all right, this is good. So for a moment, Bill, I'm gonna look in your account first. But before I do that, let me just kind of scroll down here and look at some of the folks that are here. Let's go over here and look at Wayne. Okay. Interesting. Let me pop out of my account. And first, I'm going to jump into bills. So we can kill two birds with one stone. So I want you to notice, if we go over here to network, you saw what most of you have. But Bill got a notification. Invitations have moved to the notification tab. In addition to that, some of you may notice that you're not getting notifications about birthdays. Might be my fault. So many of my students are going in and changing the birthday every other month. It happened on Facebook. You can't change your birthday at will. They're limiting the number of times that you can change a birthday. And it looks like it might be happening over here on LinkedIn too. But I want you to notice invitations have moved to the notification tab. So now you click on go to notifications, you're going to have to go in. So these are all the invitations. And then what are they doing? They're also they're pushing, connecting with other people. They're pushing because you know, because you follow them, follow this person. And what you really want to do is you don't want to follow. You want to connect. Okay. So let's go over to the message area. Let me unmute Bill.
Yes, Max, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, good morning, Bill. So did that, you kind of have a better handle on getting gifts and posting now? We covered that.
I worked at it. I still need some more work on it, so I'll keep at it. I have to
Okay.
practice some.
Gotcha. So who do we want to look at here?
Peralto Doherty had a kind of a different message. I wasn't sure. He was one that all of a sudden started asking me about networking, and his response was that he didn't know much about it. He had a couple friends that were involved with it. So
How do you spell his name?
Doughty.
DOU.
Ghty.
Okay.
There I am. Yep, that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So this is the young kid that's in.
Yeah, we've
Cyber-
had quite a conversation, actually.
Okay. So how long have you been working in that field? Been a web developer?
And you helped me with this, but he got to some questions and you told me to just wait till I was
Yeah.
talking to you.
Right. So, when somebody asks you what you do, 85% of the time, they're going to come back and they're going to ask you what you do, which we told them up here.
Yep.
Somewhere up here. So what do you do? So he says, well, what field are you in? Well, I'm working with my internet business and a retired farm animal veterinarian. Your computer skills are astounding, as I don't, I'll tell you something. How long have you been working in that field? They've got an automated spell check because I know we did a better job.
I hope so.
So how long have you been working in that field? So now he tells you. So again, he meant to say, what kind of internet business are you involved with? So this was the last message. People with experience in your field amaze me. I admire what you've accomplished. man, I know we didn't type this.
And
And sometimes I feel like I'm using a rotary telephone to talk to someone like you that's using an iPhone. Okay, so now my internet business enables me to help people that want to make full-time. See, what we're doing is you're in a health and wellness business, but we're talking to him and he's interested in making money. So we start out by talking about the money aspect. My internet business enables me to help people that want to make full-time or part-time income from home in addition to what they're currently doing. I'm working with a 15-year-old international company in the health and wellness industry. And now we asked him, well, what experience have you had with the network marketing business model? So he says, well, I appreciate it. I feel the same way when I'm speaking to more experienced engineers. Imposter syndrome sneaks in when related to different solutions for a variety of cloud. I had a couple of friends in the field, but depending on what product is being marketed, I really don't know deeply about it. That's good that you're helping others. I enjoy helping others as well. Is this in the health supplement industry? Okay, so yes, it is. Okay, so what we want to find out, see, we asked him what experience he's got, had a couple of friends. So what we're going to do is you never want to be evasive. Yes, it is. Whoops, here we go. Now we have this response is in the scripts book. There are thousands of out there. I was asking about the supplement industry, so he's got a pretty good idea. And we could go Amway. New Skin.
there you go.
Um, ah, now, I have a couple of friends in the field. Now, what we could say, give them a little bit more information. Again, this is in the scripts book. One, that products about That's paid, that's one. Two. And then three. Now. We want to ask a question. Now. And we want to tie it to him. So we're going to say many. Now. Let's.
Do you talk about the residual now or just later?
No, that's later. See, what we want him to do is we want him to come back and say yes. And then, in other words, what we want to say is, you know, would you like to learn about this?
Excuse me.
Now we could edit here. That's all we have to do. You give it to him in little bites. Okay. But but what we've done is we've left him, we've given him a little information. And for some reason, this is what's going on. LinkedIn it looks like they're running parallel systems. Because when we're sending out messages, they're getting two. So we'll make it easy. Okay. Was that the only one you wanted me to look at?
Well, there was a doctor that just wondered why I was asking all these questions. You kind of answered that. Maybe I was asking something that wasn't relevant to what we were talking about in the previous. She just said she was tired of working. And
okay, what was her name?
I thought it'd come right up, but I'd have to go to the.
Okay. Well, it says, so basically, when somebody asks you, why are you asking me so many questions? The typical response is, you know, I found the best way to get to know somebody, learn about them, is to ask questions. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't update their profiles. A lot of people, and he always, preface that by saying, man, there's a lot of wonderful people on here. I've met some wonderful people, but by the same token, they don't always fill out the profile. They don't give you enough information. So I always, ask questions to learn more about them, and then ask them another question.
Yep. Okay, that was gonna be my response. So we answered that.
Good.
you.
Let's go over here and let's take a look at the other things we have here. And Debbie, we'll do that in the mastermind. Okay. All right, now. Let me come back over here.
I don't know if that's gonna.
Okay, now, at the end of the day, it all comes down to conversation. Who are you talking to? All right. You have a good head start. You know enough about people when you start the conversation. Then it comes down to learning, do they have any kind of a need that you can help for?
Max, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sheila, can you hear me?
I can, Max.
Okay, just wanted to give you an opportunity to share what you wrote.
Oh, thank you. I have been very impressed with Max, and I've been involved in different network marketing companies for the past 30 years, and I've never knew of anybody that taught network marketing at all until just a few years ago when I joined a network marketing, when I joined a company, Melaleuca. And every time I Googled Melaleuca, Max's name kept coming up, and I thought, who in the world is Max Steingart? I didn't even know very much about, the company that I just joined Melaleuca, but I needed to get disinfectants. So, the whole COVID thing. Anyway, I've been following Max since that time, 2020, and I've researched so much about him, and I've become, one of his biggest fans. I'm like a groupie. I've collected like his books that he's written from 20 years ago, and I've read parts of his book, Making the Internet your warm market. That's one of the. It's still available actually on some places that you can purchase. And the same concepts, the same things he's using today. And I find that other network marketing people that try to sell their concepts and such, they are just following what Max is doing. But Max is the one that started this. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so excited and grateful. And I am his biggest, admirers. Fan, I'm like a fan club president over here. I love to collect his stuff and read his articles that he's written. So yeah, Max, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Sheila. Now, Sheila also participated in the retreat. Now, I've been working with the folks in Melaleuca for probably over 20 years. And back then, it was not a social media friendly company. So when I was working with some of their corporate directors and some of the people that aspire to move up in the business, we would laugh about it. We'd say, listen, when the company calls you up to congratulate you because you made senior director in 60 days, just don't tell them you did it on social media and it'll be fine. And then about, maybe 6 years ago, I helped a woman that had been in Melaleuca for about 6 years. And she got into the business. She'd been very successful in a company called Tupperware, which was a home party deal. So she joined Maluka, and the first year she got to director 3. And then she never did anything. So her husband was giving her a real hard time about it. 4 years, no rank advancement. So Maluka had a program where if you hit senior director by Christmas, you earned a $10,000 bonus. She wanted that money. In fact, she stated right at the beginning, I'm going to get that check and I'm going to put it in an envelope and I'm going to hand it to my husband and I'm going to say, so there. So she jumped in a boot camp and then she says, I really want to go fast. So she signed up for my coaching program. And I'll never forget, she called me up 2 days after she did it. And she says, Max, I got to cancel. She says, $3,900 is a lot of money. My husband will kill me if he finds out I spent this kind of money. Well, she figured 3,900 versus 10,000. And then she says, so, could you give me the money back? And I said, sure, no worries. But I said, let me ask you just one question. How bad do you want to make that 10 grand? She says, in the worst way. And I said, from what I working with you in boot camp, there's no way that you're going to hit senior director by Christmas without my help. So, and I said, and the other thing is, man, you got to spend more than 2 hours a day. So she committed to 10 to 12 hours a day. And she did it. She was one of the stars of our November boot camp. She called into an Ask Max session. I think it was like the first week in December. I said, they called me up. The company congratulated me. I hit senior director. They're sending me $10,000. And then she went on to say, I'm going to put it in an envelope and I'm going to give it to my husband. And I said, hey, slow down. Give him half. Give him half. He'll be just as happy with it. But ever since then, and that was before Ed Bestoso came up with his online tool, 1, 2, 3, Go. I was coaching Ed's daughter, Ashley. And I said, Ed, you got to participate in the first 2 sessions. And when I showed him what was the potential, how many people were there, he put together 1, 2, 3, Go. He actually paid me to work with the guy who built it, Chris Davidson, helped him with some of the scripts. I love Ed. I love what he's done. My scripts are better because my scripts are going after business builders. His scripts and his direction is the typical network marketing mantra. Show this to your friends. Okay. So over the next 3 weeks and moving into December and up to New Year's Eve, you are going to hear a lot of success stories from people in different companies. And for those of you that are building a Maluka business, hey, it's not hard to do. Your goal should be talk to 10, 15 people a day. Let's just say 10, 50 people a week. If you're talking to 50 people, you should be able to close 2 if you're talking to the right people. It's numbers. Bring 2 people into the business every week. Help those 2 people get 8 customers. You made $1,000. Help those people that you brought into the business. Help those 8 customers. Each get 8 customers. They made $4,000. Hello? That's what network marketing is all about. So check your email. I have opened up boot camp. We're still taking registrations. I've done something for those of you that were in previous boot camps. I've done something different with this boot camp. Now you have access to the October boot camp. And what I'm doing is I'm focusing in the first session on just profile creation. In previous boot camps, we not only focused on creation, but we showed you the results of some of the things you're going to do that would enable you to connect with people. There was overlap. And I've pulled out the overlap. This is a highly concentrated, streamlined amount of information that will help you put everything together quicker. But we're going to break the content. See, when it comes to talking to people, connecting with people, there's conversation there. Communicating with people, there's conversation there. But what we're going to do is we're going to literally confine the conversation with connecting to just connecting. Then in the next session, how do you talk to people? Now, the good news is you can always go over and review what we did in the October boot camp to put everything together. But the bottom line for all of you is this: there has never been a better time to be in network marketing. Never. It is easier today than ever before. So what I'm saying is, you go into you got access to the recorded bootcamp sessions. And you're also going to have access to an extra session we did in October, the Top Earners Daily Routine, which is what we talked about in the retreat, and how to develop $1 million mindset. There isn't anybody here, and there's a bunch of people here that I don't know. And of course, if you're watching this on LinkedIn and if you're watching this on Facebook, I have no idea who you are and what your background is. But I just want to tell you, there is nothing to prevent any of you to being successful in this business. You just have to know how to do it without the fluff, without the craziness. And then, of course, the next part is how to train your people. So November and December potentially can be the best months of the year for you and everybody that you bring into your business. It's all about conversation. It's all about talking to people. You know, there's an old expression, you can't say the right things to the wrong people. Okay, let me take 2 seconds. Let me actually let me Bunny, can you be in the retreat? In the mastermind session that's coming up next. Let me make sure you're all seeing this.
Yes, Matt.
Okay, so if you're going to be in the next session, I'll jump into your account. We'll go through those.
Okay.
Okay. You still having fun?
Yes, I am.
Now, I want to close with one example, and I'm not using Joel to impress you. But what I want to do is I want to impress upon all of you what's possible for you I started working with Joel in 2018. He was building a network marketing business. And he knows how to sell. So just by opening things up and showing him what was available, how he could do this, what he could do. His first month, he signed up 18 people. And he was off to the races. The following year, he comes back and he starts an insurance business. And his goal was to have 100 agents by New Year's Eve. 2 months. Now, that means that's not a 2-hour-a-day deal. Joel and Phyllis were putting in 10, 12 hours a day. We developed some specific scripts for him. And he sent me this about maybe a week later. I'm having so much fun with this since we started working together again. I don't want to sleep. Phyllis isn't sleeping. We're making more money than we've ever made. Never expected it to happen so fast. Because once you understand the process, it happens fast. And sure enough, by New Year's Eve, he writes back to say, hey, we did it. We did it. We never could have done it without you. Over the years, we tried to work with other coaches, but I'm the best. And one of the reasons I am the best is because nobody knows this material like I do. So anyway, on Tuesday, I was doing a training for my friends in the Power Lead system, which is how I think we originally met Joel. And he pops in to say hi and to tell me he's now making $1 million in his business. And I want to share it with you. Let me open Joel up. You know, I love it when former students come back. Hi, Max. Joel, how are you?
Doing good, doing great.
I love it. You know, I constantly refer to you as, you know, one of my favorite success stories, because Joel here is probably one of the most experienced, talented salespeople I've ever met. I mean, this man could sell you anything.
Sweet. See, I like him already.
You know, it's true. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about you. You know, when I was working with you back in 2018, you know, you picked it up right away. You were doing great. And then in 2009, you decided to do this insurance thing. And I never thought that, I mean, you had pretty high goals, you know, 100 agents in 2 months. You guys did it. Thrilled that you're here. Now, one thing I want to point out to you, in looking at your profile, see, I can see your followers. And this was a sly little thing that LinkedIn did where they told you, if you want to make your posts visible to all the things that you do, then what you do is you become a content creator.
Gotcha.
Okay. And we thought when we did that, that was a wonderful thing. And it really was. But then it's kind of like in the middle of the night on a Friday night, they went in and they changed the deal. And what they did was they replaced your connect button with a follow button. So we're going to explain why. And so we need to go back in there and turn that off so that people can connect with you, because they can still see what you're doing.
Yeah, I would like that. But you can also, if you click on more, I think there's a connect button and more.
Well, no, there wouldn't be one from us because we're already connected.
Right. But I meant if it was a new person.
Right. Well, right. But see, the average person doesn't know about that.
That's true. Where do you go in? I don't even know where to go in and turn it off anymore.
If we have time, I'll show you.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, Max, I want to say thanks so much. This is going to be our first $1 million year on that. We're well on our way. And I just wanted to, I mean, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. I just can't. I really appreciate everything you've done. Just wanted to say that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. I mean, I love it when people hit that first $1 million year, but not the last.
Oh, we're on our way.
Oh, congratulations. It's funny because I help so many people, but it's nice to hear it. There's a lot of people, I don't hear they hit $1 million until 10 years after they did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, bro. That's awesome.
And
Thank you.
And by the way, what he did, okay, all of you can do, all right?
Yeah,
What he did,
absolutely.
all of you can do, because number one, it's not hard, and it's just a matter of following some simple steps. And the one thing that impressed me about Joel right from the beginning, because he's a great salesman, great salespeople know you want to listen more than you talk. And working with him was an absolute pleasure. Joe, why don't you tell everybody what coaching did for you, if you would?
Well, it did so much, I don't know if I can put it into just a few words, but it actually propelled me into the next level. And I think that's what everybody's looking for, being able to come to you and talk to you about what I was doing and just doing the tweaks, just the little things that we miss that the coaching really helped with. I don't know how to even express it. I mean, because even like coming to these things, you do a great job with these, but it's not like the individual coaching where I can ask a personal question on how I actually can make this happen. So it's like you said, we did over 100 agents in 2 months, less than 2 months on that with your coaching and our work. So it was great.
And that's what we're gonna do for all of you. My coaching and your work, you can go all the way to the top of your company. For those of you that are coaching students, we'll see you at the mastermind in about 40 minutes. Until next time, best of luck in building your business. There's still time to get into boot camp, and but if you did get an email with directions on getting the videos for the retreat, don't sit on that, because that's not gonna be around for very long. Until next time. Oh, by the way, if there's anybody here that is interested in my coaching program, just type coaching, put your phone number in the chat window, and one of my staff members will be reaching out to you within the next 48 hours. Other than that, you all have a wonderful weekend. By the way, today is National Redhead Day here in the United States. It's an unofficial holiday that you could use to start conversations with people. So until next time, best of luck in building your business. God bless.